Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm glad that you found my channel. My name is Brittany and I review books mostly by like Black authors, Black women authors, but really just any books that I'm interested in, I find good. I'm actually going to be recording 2 videos today back to back. Just simply because the first one I kind of stalled a bit on that one, and then the second one was actually so good that I kind of like sped through and read it in like a week and a half. So I have 2 videos, so I'll be wearing the same t-shirt, but that's not what you're here for. You're here for the review. So the first book I'm going to be reviewing is called Pleasantview. I saw it online. I kept seeing it online, and so I was like, oh, I'll read it. It's actually by a Trinidadian author. Her name is Celeste Mohammed. She has a picture in here. Very gorgeous lady. I hope you can see it. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'll definitely read it. It's been hyped. Let me see what the hype is about. So let's get into it. Pleasantview is not an actual place in Trinidad, although there is a place called Pleasantville. And I kept like mixing up the names when I would like talk about the book, but it's actually Pleasantview, made up. The things that I liked / loved about this book was that it's written in like, there's like a bunch of like Trinidadian like slang and like Trini Creole in here, which I didn't realize would be like so heartwarming and also hilarious. Like I feel like there were many times that I was like taking pictures and like sending to like my friend to be like, look at this is hilarious, because this is like the way that we speak, and to like read it in a book like in context was just like actually cracking me up. I loved that. I felt like the book was, yeah, it was just great. Because it's like set in Trinidad, even though like Pleasantview is a fake place and it was like set in Trinidad, I felt like, oh, like I could clearly see and understand like what area or like what the setting of the story was, because like I was born and raised in Trinidad. So I feel like that was very the familiarness I don't know, of the book was, I really liked that. This book was told from multiple perspectives, and so I feel like I always talk about like how I like that, like different characters and different perspectives and what they're thinking of, and hearing how the stories like connect. I always love that, and this book had a lot of that. There was like at least 14 characters, and that's just like big characters who got like their story told. There were other like additional like supporting characters, which is wild, and that's like a lot of people to like keep track of. I was like writing in my notes, because I make notes when I'm reading, especially if I'm gonna like review a book, and I was like trying to like draw arrows and like connect the stories of people. So like I don't know if that's like something that you think is annoying, or you share the same like opinion as me and like, oh yeah, it's fun like to like keep track of these people. I think to some extent it could be annoying, so I kind of have that on like my likes list, and also my like, it could have been like less people, but I'm not complaining. They all like came together lovely, and like I could see how they like interconnected, so love that. And then the one other thing I would say that I like truly enjoyed was like there was so much bacchanal like drama, for people who don't know what bacchanal means, but like so much bacchanal. But I'll get into it. Things I didn't like. I'm looking like slightly over here because I have like my notes stuck on my ring light, so just bear with me. Things I didn't really like. Many characters to keep track of. I already mentioned that. But I feel like at the end of the story, or like at certain points, I didn't really get closure on like what happened to some of the characters. And of course that probably was intentional, but I was invested in the story and like what was going on with these people, and so to like not get closure, or to like find out like, well, whatever happened to them was kind of sad. I just like don't like when that happens. But I think I've said this in like past videos too, it's like up to the author, and like if that's how they choose to like let the story go. Like not every story has a happy ending. That's a word. Not every story has a happy ending. Not every person's character gets wrapped up. Not every character gets wrapped up with like a perfect bow. So I understand that. Ultimately, like I can't really like tell you what this book is about without like, I don't want to give spoilers, so I'll like kind of like talk a bit about some of the characters, not all 14, but I'll try to like tiptoe around it like I always do, and like not give away like what the story is about. So they're like different characters. The first one that we are like introduced to is this guy called Sunil. He is in jail, and he's like planning this like escape back. He's in jail in Tobago and is planning this escape back to Trinidad by boat, because he is trying to like get back to Trinidad. He has like this girl there that he's planning to marry, and that's how like the story starts. He makes it back to Trinidad, like meets up with whoever he was gonna meet up with. He was trying to escape with some other prisoner. They actually caught that prisoner and took him back. He got lucky. So he gets back to Trinidad and he's going to meet the girl that he wants to be with. Her name is Consuela. She is a Venezuelan, I don't know if you call them prostitutes, if they're like in like a house where people like come and pay for them. I guess so. Like when you think prostitute, you would think of like on the streets. But she was like at this house, and like somebody like owned the house, and people would come pay and blah blah blah. That's what she was doing, and Sunil loves her. Is trying to come back and pay off whoever it is to like get her. That's my airwick if you heard that. But essentially like the whole thing goes bad because whoever owns her, the guy's name is Mr. Jagrup. He like, Consuela actually like spoke to him and told him like, hey, like Sunil said he was coming to get me. Like I don't even know like why she would do that anyway, because it's like obviously the person that owns you and earns money from you isn't gonna be happy that someone's gonna come take you away. Like come on. But like he didn't like that. He showed up to the house on the night that the guy was gonna come, ended up like beating them up. And this is like part of the story that I was saying from before, like I don't really know like what happened to them, because after they showed like Sunil and Consuela like both being beaten up for like trying to escape, I didn't hear about Sunil for the rest of the book. There was like some parts where I heard about Consuela, but like after that it was just like whatever happened to them. So that was sad. But then they tell the story of like Mr. Jagrup. He is like this like really wicked man. Like I said, he's involved with like the girls in the house and all that. He's also in Trinidad. You could leatherback turtles come to Trinidad to like lay their eggs, which is actually so sweet. And you can go like see them at night. But of course, like the people that work around there, they like they keep it like serious, because you don't want to like go over there and like bother the turtles, kill them, mess with them. It's like a special time. So Mr. Jagrup is like trying to kill the turtles basically, because some people like think of it like, oh, like turtle meat, like a delicacy, or it's like cool, like I have a leatherback turtle shell in my house. It's like weird things like that. So if Mr. Jagrup is involved in that kind of stuff, then we are introduced to like a different Mr. H, he's called. He doesn't really have like a full name. He's like a bigger businessman in like the cloth industry, who is like married and has like his like main house, and then he has like all these other women who he's like sleeping with and this and that. We're introduced to Miss Ivy, who is like this like fake seer woman. Truly, like she's just like kind of crazy, but people like go to her as like the seer woman in the community and like ask her like, what do you see on the cards for me? And it's not even like tarot cards, it's like regular like playing cards that she's like making up. There's like a story of like Kim and Rachel, who Kim is Mr. H's daughter, who is in Barbados, who's having like a weird relationship with like Rachel. It's so yeah. There's many other stories. We learn about like this couple, like Ruth and Declan, and like Ruth was recently like saved, and Declan is like trying to like be like, oh, I miss like the original person. She like changed her name, and we learn about a different couple. What was their names? The other couple. I'm telling y'all, I wrote it down. Judith and Junior. Junior gets an opportunity to like come to America, and Judith's like, okay, go, like I'll hold it, I'll like, you know, take care of the children. Junior comes to America and like gets caught up with this like white woman. Listen, when I tell you it was drama, but like it's like a good like story. Like you want to like, you're invested in each of the characters and you want to know like, are they gonna make it out of their situation? Like, what are they gonna do? Is this person gonna help them? Like, you know, that kind of stuff. It's basically like a story of everyone's drama and like how their stories are like interconnected, because many of the stories are connected in some like way or form. Like basically that's what the story is. So yeah, I think Pleasantview was a very easy read. Like it's like a smaller book compared to like some other ones. Like this is the other book I'm gonna be reviewing in the other video, but Pleasantview is much smaller, quick read. Like the chapters are short, so you want to like get through it really fast. And like I said, drama, bacchanal, just a overall like a fun read. So I like this book. I think if you want to just read like something light, there wasn't really like much like dark. Actually, I'm lying. There are some dark, heavier topics in here. You know, like death or like R-word. So I feel like, but not like overly heavy. Like if I think of like a book that's like kind of heavy where I'm like, oh, I gotta take a break, like I'm thinking of like Kite Runner, Thousand Splendid Suns, like books I've reviewed before. Not Pleasantview. Pleasantview is more like drama. So I would recommend this book. I actually like gave this book like 5 stars, I think, on my Goodreads, which I think I will start. I need to include that link in my bio so that I can like, y'all can like friend me and I can make friends with people on Goodreads and like get more book recommendations. But I think I gave it 5 stars. So yeah, tell me what you think of Pleasantview if you've read it already. If you haven't and you're looking for like a small, like lighter, drama-y type of read, I recommend. It's also like by my Trini peeps, so of course. But yeah, that was my spoiler-free review of Pleasantview. The next video I will be putting out is a review of the book Hungry Ghosts. Y'all, this is the book that I read in about 2 weeks. Also by a Trinidadian author. But I will save that for the next one. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.